Hello, gorgeous. It's Kirsty K. It is day 5 of my transition from my juice fast back to food. I juiced for 95 days and I've transitioned for 5. And so today's day 100 of my 100 days of juice. So I wanted to check in and let you know what I've been eating and how things have been going. And I'm really pleased with my progress. I feel like I'm making this transition way faster than I had anticipated. One of the things, well, there's two keys to what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I'm only introducing things like a little at a time. So that's one thing, so that if I have a problem with it, I can pull back. The other thing is I'm eating very small portions. I'm not eating large amounts of anything. And I'm finding that I'm getting full. The other thing is that I am completely off juice. I really thought I would continue to juice a little bit, but I was ready to be done, and I have not had any juice for the last 2 days. And the final thing that I think is making a huge difference in how my body's responding is that I'm chewing the bejesus out of everything. So everything that I eat, I chew and chew and chew. I eat very slowly, and I basically liquefy it in my mouth before I swallow it. So it's not like I'm drinking juice, but I am not eating large amounts of food that my body doesn't know what to do with. And the good thing is that I am having like BMs. So I am not having a problem with my digestive tract. Everything's waking up nicely. The watermelon was great. It was a great way to start. And then I added a fruit salad the next day. And then the next day I added the Garlic Lovers Soup by Chef AJ, which I'll link in the directions below. I made it a little different because she shops at Trader Joe's and I don't have one. But it's a great soup. It's it's reminiscent to me of the Weight Watchers 0 Point soup back in the day, where it's just got like lots of cruciferous vegetables and tomatoes and it's a lot of garlic. But I found it very flavorful, and I found myself satisfied with just the smallest portion. And then we did go out to dinner on Sunday night with family, and so I was just going to bring my own food, but I decided to look at the menu, and I did bring food I could eat, but I looked at the menu, and there was a salad that was really just vegetables. I mean, I had them pull all the things off of it that weren't, but it was a big salad. So I had that. It was a Mexican restaurant, so it had some black beans in it, but it wasn't like mostly black beans. So I kind of ate around those. I didn't worry too much if I got a couple. But again, so that was my introduction to raw vegetables. So that was like day 4. And I did really well. Again, I ate very slowly. I chewed my food like crazy. It went down and like filled me up so quickly. I had this huge salad. It was a huge dinner salad, and I probably had, like an eighth of it. It really wasn't much. And then I let my husband finish it. But what was nice about that was for the first time in over 3 months, I was able to go to a restaurant and have a meal with people and not feel like I was just sitting there watching everyone eat. So that was a wonderful thing. And then the other wonderful thing was that I wasn't tempted at all by the chips and salsa. We didn't order guacamole. Turns out I'm the one who always like overindulges in the guacamole, and everyone else couldn't take it or leave it. So we didn't order it, and I wasn't tempted by the chips, which was astounding to me, or the margaritas. I just felt like I was there for, I could participate, and that was my enjoyment. I didn't need all that other stuff, and I just have this different attitude towards food. So in terms of back to my series of the gifts of fasting, I have a couple today, and one of them is I have a completely different outlook on food and eating and why I'm eating and what I'm eating. I feel like food is such a gift, and just the fact that I get to eat is such a gift, and the fact that I'm able to get full so quickly on such a small amount of food is amazing. And I'm really learning to trust myself. I'm really learning to listen to those hunger and fullness cues. I used to think that my body was broken, and obviously it was my brain that was broken. But I feel like even that is healing, and I'm starting to enjoy the process of eating healthy food and not crave or long for or feel sorry for myself when I can't eat unhealthy food. I just feel like I don't want to do anything to mess this up. I don't want to do anything to undo what I've gone through over the last 100 days. It was hard and it was worth it, and I want it to stay worth it. So yeah, that's been huge. Just my appreciation for the gift of food, my appreciation and gratitude that I get to sit at a restaurant with my family and participate and feel like I'm a part of the dining together, and there's just something special about that. So that's a huge one. And then the other one that I've been thinking a lot about, and I don't quite know how to verbalize this, but there is a certain magic in juicing. There's a certain experience that you get when you're juicing where you feel lighter, you feel unattached to food in a new way that maybe you've never felt before, or not in the same way because you're not eating it. So it's not an option. So you're like living without that. And if you can embrace that, like I feel like I did, there's just this freedom from like the bondage and the control that food had over me, that I've been able to continue throughout like these last several days. And it's a mindset thing, it's an attitude thing, but it's also like a craving thing. Like it's like the memory of those foods is far enough away that I'm not remembering, because craving is really like your memory of pleasure, eating a certain thing, and then you want that pleasure again. So that's been interesting. But on the flip side of that, so while there is a certain magic that happens while you're juicing isn't a magic cure. It isn't a magic fix. It isn't a magic pill. It isn't an end all and be all of your life, because you have to eventually go back to eating. And so I think the acknowledgement that there's no simple one time, boom, you're fixed kind of cure. And I think my whole life I've been searching for that. Like, what is going to fix me? What is my problem? Why can't I be normal like everybody else? And so I have spent many years jumping from thing to thing to thing, trying to find the perfect program or the perfect plan or the perfect expert to follow. And it turns out it's up to me. It's up to you. It turns out there's no magic cure. And we get to decide whether we're going to live or die. We get to decide whether we're going to choose life or death. I guess we don't get to decide whether we're going to live or die, but we get to decide whether it's going to be our fault. I heard that quote once, like, I know we all have to die of something. I just don't want it to be my fault. And I'm in that headspace right now where I'm recognizing that I have a long road ahead of me. I'm still a lot heavier than I want to be. I want to lose 50 or 60 more pounds. And I don't have the luxury of just thinking that the next thing is going to cure me or fix me. And like, I'm grateful for juicing, and I'm grateful for the ways that I've been able to like readjust my brain and the way that I am around food, and how it doesn't feel like it has a grip on me right now anymore. But I know that if I go back to eating the way I was eating, if I let myself indulge in junk, it'll be right back like that. And I'm not willing to go through another 100 days of juicing. So I am holding on to my sobriety, for lack of a better word, like like my life depends on it, because it does. And that is an acknowledgement of the fact that I have I have to decide. I'm the only one who can do this for me. There's no expert, there's no perfect program, there's no magic potion. Juicing is the closest thing to a magic cure that I've ever found, but it's also not sustainable. And I want to move toward my health. I want to walk in that direction. And that's what I've been doing. And I think that these 5 days have shown me that I'm capable of that. And it's only been 5 days. I'd love to have another 100-day challenge of eating clean and eating only healthy food, only allowing healthy food to get into my body. And I might do that. But that was kind of a lot. That's what I have for today. I am going to introduce some grains into my diet today. I added some rice to my soup, to a portion of my soup, because some of it I'm going to just keep eating as just vegetables. And part of Chef AJ's plan is eating vegetables for breakfast. So it's a perfect vegetable for breakfast soup on these cold days. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to keep plugging along, and I will check in with you again. So until next time, I hope you're all doing well, and let's keep changing. Let's keep growing. Let's keep making those choices that benefit us and nurture us and love ourselves. And I hope that you're doing that today. So have a great day. Bye.